So I created, this is the actual domain controller, but unfortunately I misspelled it. Just for information, at the time of creation of mission inside the portal, it's not possible to change this name. Once you have created, it's not possible. So actually, I named it as SQL-DC. When you connect to the computer, you will see the computer name as SQL-DC. But at the time of creation, I misspelled it and it is appearing as Node 1LB. So what I noticed is that once you create the mission, you cannot change it inside the portal. Maybe some other ways are there, I don't know, but GUI, it's not possible. It's not possible to change the name that is appearing inside our portal. That's what I'm saying. This actual name is SQL Domain Controller, but at the time of creation, I've given this as Node 1LB, so that went wrong. So I just kept as is. So we have total leaving out this mission, I have, this is the domain controller and I have 4 missions being connected to the domain controller. First, I'm going to show up this and this, and later I will show you this and this. So we'll start our session first. Okay. Okay. It's not okay. Good discussion. Okay. So let me start our management studio. Everything is on SQL Server 2022. I know I need to show up the migrations with Azure Arc. It's going to be our next topic. Let's wait. This is a different configuration, guys. So I don't know how many of you are good at understanding this special requirement. So I will talk about that requirement first, and I will show you my setup as well. Then you can share your thoughts. Let me see if everything is online because I didn't start the missions from past 2 days. Okay, everything is fine. So imagine I got a requirement in real time. Think from real time perspective. Don't think this as a session. Okay, think from your real time needs as a requirement for you, and you as a DBA. I cannot say architect, like DBA decision maker, like how to create the missions and how to put them in always on is up to you. Just imagine that you are the right person, and your company is reaching you, and it is giving you an requirement. My requirement is the first. I'm talking about the first requirement. I have 2 missions, SQL Replica 1 and SQL Replica 2. Both are in same region. Okay. Keep the points in your mind. SQL Replica 1 and SQL Replica 2. There are 2 missions. Both are in same region, but one mission is in zone 1. Okay. We have something called as availability zones in Azure. Okay. So if you see here, this mission is part of availability zone 1. Okay. And SQL Replica 1, I think this is SQL Replica 1. SQL Replica 2 is also part of availability zone 1. But just imagine this is part of zone 2. Just imagine. I created it to be part of zone 1, but just imagine this is part of zone 2. So you have 2 missions, Replica 1 and Replica 2. Both are in zone 1 and zone 2. I mean, Replica 1 is in zone 1 and Replica 2 is in zone 2. Just imagine that is your requirement. And you don't have DR. You don't have DR. You have only HA. Okay, my requirement is something like this. I can afford only HA. I cannot afford DR. I don't have money to afford DR. So I am happy with HA. So I'm asking you to create always on Azure. So that is my requirement. So what will you do in such case? So you will have 2 replicas. One is in zone 1, other one will be in zone 2. Both are in different subnets. So that is my requirement. Let me write it down so that it will be interesting and it will help you to understand the concepts as well. So requirement is very simple. Two replicas. I need two replicas. I cannot afford DR. Okay, cannot afford DR. Can go with HA, only HA. Only HA. So one machine should be in zone 1 and other machine in zone 2. Both are in same region. Since they are in same region, that is the reason I'm saying no DR. Okay, so no DR. Zone 1 and zone 2, both are in same region. What else? Both are in different subnets. Replica 1 is in different subnet, replica 2 is in different subnets. In this case, as a DBA, okay, let's use the term architect for a second. Architect, how will you design this requirement? Will you go with load balancer or will you go with DNN or will you not go with either of the options? Before we move on to that production issue, just I wanted to see what's your thought on this.
Uh,
I
Vamsi,
think
I think we need to go through the load balancer.
Okay, one is load balancer. Okay. Anyone with
that
DNN?
we don't require either of any. Once
Okay.
we can directly go.
No requirement of DNN or VNN. Okay.
Yes.
DNN or VNN not required because
I
as I said,
also agree.
both are in different subnets. So people are going through my concepts, which I'm happy for that. Both are in different subnets. When I use this term straight away, you can say you don't need um, either of them, like VNN or DNN. So what if I use, I will show you, that's not a matter, but I don't need to use either of them. So why I'm saying this, because is this the one, not this one? Um,
Vamshi, in that case, it comes under multi-subnet listener, right?
it is multi-subnet. That's true. It is multi-subnet because we have different subnets. Can you see this
Yeah.
statement from Microsoft? Let me show you. Uh, I think there is one statement. Just give me a second. Let's see, where is that statement from Microsoft? Yeah, this is the official Microsoft documentation page. Okay. See this. This is the first tip what they are giving. Straight away they are saying this is the first tip. Try to employ this tip. That's what they are saying. So they are saying there are many methods to deploy availability groups. Okay. Simplify your deployment and eliminate the need for load balancer or DNN. I will call load balancer as VNN. That is the term what we use. So you don't need to use load balancer or DNN for your availability groups provided by doing what? By creating your virtual machines in multiple subnets within the same Azure virtual network. Okay, that's what they are saying. If you can create, okay, if you can create your virtual machines like what I am showing up in my requirement, I am need to create my two virtual machines in the same region. Of course, when it is same region, obviously within the same virtual network also, but in different subnets. Okay, different subnets, but same VNet, which enforces same region as well. So that is my requirement. So if this is the case, then I don't need to go with load balancer or DNN. I don't need to use. And this is how it looks if I configure. Of course, I didn't configure either of them. I made use of DNN and VNN also here. Okay. So if you are not familiar with multi-subnet configuration, okay, if you're not familiar with multi-subnet, what they are talking about, you can still use VNN and DNN, which is load balancer and DNN if you wanted to. So this is how it looks. If you use load balancer, you will get two IPs. Okay. If you use DNN, as you know, there will not be any IPs if you use DNN. And if you don't want either of them, it still works with the concept of multi-subnet since the missions are in different subnets and same region and same VNet. Okay. So I just wanted to show, like I wanted to discuss the same thing. Any questions here before I move on with the real use case? Did you get the requirement?
So Vamsi, even though it's having different region, also we can go without load balancer and that DNN, right?
different regions, when you have different regions, for example, just imagine you have two missions. Okay, just imagine. Say, for example, you have replica 1. So I will say node 1. Node 1 and node 2. Just imagine. This is the kind of setup what we have in my office. So we don't have HA. We don't have HA. This is in West Europe and this is in North Europe. Of course, you can use India or whatever it is. I'm just using the same terminology. So West Europe, North Europe. I have only two missions. Okay. I need to configure always on between them. This is in one region. This is in another region. So what should I do now? So that is your question, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So if this is the case, since both are in different regions, okay, first of all, I need to peer them. Without peering, I cannot communicate from this region or this VNet to this VNet. So I need to peer the virtual networks first. So once I peer the virtual networks, then since they are in different VNets altogether, so I don't need to go with DNN or VNN. I can simply go with multi-subnet always on setup, which almost looks similar to on premises. You don't need to use VNN or DNNs here. I mean to say load balancer or DNN if they are in different regions. The problem comes only if you add one more mission. Okay, just imagine node DR as the name. Okay, so if you try to add one more mission into picture to this picture, then I need to use VNN or DNN because since I got two missions in the same subnet, then there lies the problem. If you have two missions in the same subnet, I need either VNN or DNN. That's it in simple terms. I don't need to repeat this because I repeated so many times. Even I am frustrated of repeating this. So I hope you got the point.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Wait, what is the port number? I forgot the port number. Just a second. The service up. Okay, service is up. Port number. One six three three. 1633. Okay, connect. Okay, let's discuss about this scenario. It's interesting, right? The port is up and running. The instance is up and running. I mean, the service is up and running. Looks like I'm not able to connect. As a DBA, tell me what will be your troubleshooting step. This will be very difficult to troubleshoot, honestly speaking. Simple issue, but not that easy to solve.
Enable the trust certificate.
Trust
Yes.
certificate. Okay, we will enable. So what will be your first step if you see this? The same error what we used to get, familiar network related error. Will you go with SQL error logs or event viewer? What is your first step?
I think
Event viewer.
event viewer, because we need to track the network from, right?
Okay, event viewer, and someone is said trust certificate. It won't work either. So even if I click on it, it won't make much difference. Sorry, your baby is crying, so I'm just muting you. I can understand how difficult if we have babies. So no use of using trust server certificate. Okay, my service is up and running as you can see. Where is that? Yeah, service is up and running, but still I'm not able to connect to the instance. Someone said event viewer. Let's go to event viewer. I want to go with system or application logs.
System.
System. Okay. It will be slightly slow because I created more missions and I've not given much memory. Like 4 and 16 is what I've given. 4 CPU, 16 GB RAM. So it will be slightly slow. Just bear with me for a second. And let me go to error logs as well. So these all are information messages. So no point of checking something here. Okay, current time is 3:32. I mean server time. So if I go to up,
Vamsi,
yeah,
uh, uh, because your browser service is not enabled.
Browser service. Okay, browser service is not enabled, and that is the reason. Okay, let's start the browser service. Take your chart. TCP protocol enabled. Yes, yes, yes. TCP is enabled. TCP is enabled. And that too, I am on the same mission. Yeah.
I think you need to enable the UDP port.
For your information, guys, this is just for your information. I disabled the firewall altogether. Okay. If you disable the firewall, then you don't need to worry about any port. At least on your testing missions. Let's forget about real time for a second. This is my testing mission. So I don't want this port numbers coming into picture. So I turned off the firewall altogether. So you don't need to worry about 1433 or 1633, 5022. No, nothing like that. Forget about port numbers. So that is a clue of what I can give you. Okay, so let's go to application logs. I'm on the application logs. What I can see is just a warning message saying auto backup status monitor thread something something. It is also failing network related instance stuff. So I am not able to find anything in my application logs, not able to find anything in my system logs, and I am on the same mission. So I don't need TCP/IP protocol also, because by default it uses shared memory if you are on the same mission. If you are connecting outside, you need TCP. If you are on the same mission, by default it uses shared memory. So even that is not the case. What else?
Let's check in the sequence of error logs.
Error
Both
logs. Yeah, let's connect to this mission. We'll forget about the secondary replica. Let's talk about the primary. Error log, I think here only, because I deployed it from the marketplace. It goes with C by default. Log, error log. Not bad. I'll zoom this a bit. Format, font. Come on. Okay, I think this will be easy for you. I will go slowly. So it is 30th 315. Okay, now it is 335. So I can ignore this 315 stuff. I'll come down first to the bottom to see if there is anything. 321. So from 321, nothing is being recorded here. Means even if I use error logs, it will not be of much use. But we will go to see if there is anything that is interesting that I can make use of. I'm not able to connect to the instance. That's what I'm saying. I'm not able to connect to the instance. I'm on the same server.
MC, any NSG 1633 need to open?
No,
side?
yeah, I can understand from that side, but I didn't make any changes to my NSG also.
Did you allow the direct public internet connection for this instance?
I am public connection means I didn't get you. What does it mean?
He's saying private endpoints or public endpoints in maybe.
Connecting within
No,
the VM itself.
this is VM. So there is no point of public endpoint or private endpoint. This is not PaaS like MI or Azure SQL. This is VM. Just like our on-premises. I'm not able to connect to the instance. You can see I'm having the operating system, right? Once I have the operating system, there is no point of PaaS here. Services are up and running. Yeah, let's try with IP address. That's a good point. IP address. So IP config. What is the IP for this? 10.16.2.4. 10.16.2.4. Okay, so let's try to connect with IP. 10.16.2.4. I'm giving 1633 also to be on a safer side. No. Browser, someone said browser. I can enable browser for you. Let's do that as well. See, looks very simple, right? I'm not able to connect to the instance. My service is up and running, but still we are not able to figure out where the problem is. That's how the things will be in real time. So that is what I will try to mimic. I'll start this now. TCP is service account should be running with domain account. Yeah, it could be. That is, see, if you see here, this is domain account only. Aliases, I didn't create any aliases. Just for your information, aliases are empty. Nothing with aliases. I will show you other aliases.
Vamsi,
Yeah.
it is a default instance. No, there is no scope for browsers, correct?
Yeah, we don't need browser, but still we are using that also. Aliases, someone said aliases. Yes, maybe it's the right point to check. I'm not able to connect with alias. I mean, there is no alias at all.
Vamsi, can we use the different user like SQL user? Because here I see you
Okay,
are
you
using.
suspect, okay, that's a good point. So let's try to connect with SQL authentication. Yes, say admin 143 $. Blah, blah. 1 second, I misspelled it. Okay. If it is a password error, I will get something password mismatch, something like that. It's not coming up. Forced encryption on protocols. That's a good point because I already highlighted this, right? I don't want to repeat my content, so I will never do that. But still, yeah, since you raised forced encryption, let's check that part. Encryption on this properties somewhere here. Forced encryption, not here, right? Where is that? Here. Yeah. No, I think here. Yeah, forced encryption. No, I didn't do anything, any mess up with those things. Nothing like that. Everything is off.
Try with SQL authentication mode.
Private SQL authentication. What does it mean?
Yeah, Vamsi, can you please check the port number? Is it allowed?
No, that's what I'm saying. You forget about ports because I disabled the firewall. So you don't need to worry about port numbers.
Okay.
So it is optional. So by mistake, because you are using SA, right? So it went with mandatory. But still, even if I use optional, it won't connect. Now,
So
as it,
without parsing port, can you try?
yeah, that
Vamsi?
also fine. That is also fine. Let's do it. Sorry, I clicked on cancel. Without port number. You want me to try with the name or IP? Anything is fine.
Oh, yeah, anything with
Okay.
is fine
Anything.
without this port number.
Yes.
So can you
That's
see this? Can you
yeah.
see this?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to connect with without port number 10.16.2.4. Okay. Okay, why do you think it is allowing me to connect with only name, not with port number? That is first point. Second point, why not with IP also? Because my IP is 10.16.2.4, as you can see.
Did you enable dynamic ports?
No, I'm using static port 1633. So where is that? IP address 1633. Yeah. It's not connecting with IP. What's your take on this? Like, what's happening? As a DBA, how will you troubleshoot and where will you check? All the points
No,
what we
Vamsi,
discussed
it is
is
different
absolutely fine.
error. No,
Yeah.
access denied. We are getting different error this
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
Access denied, correct?
Whatever it is. So instance is up, but I'm not able to connect to the instance. Whether I use Windows or SQL authentication or without port number, at least it allowed me to connect. That's a good thing. But if I use port number, it is not allowing me to connect. Usually it is the other side, right? If you don't use port number, it will fail, right? That's what you will see in real time. If you don't use port number, it will fail. But I just recreated different use case for you. Yeah, access is denied, something it is saying. That will be enabled by default, I guess.
Yeah,
Remote.
this time. Can you check in the logs, SQL error logs here?
Okay, let's check the logs. So I can fire a read error log.
Yeah.
We didn't even move to advanced topics. This is just basic, but basic itself, see, I know it will take time. So read error log. Okay. I'll increase this size here. Oh, I think it won't come here. I don't know how to increase the size. Bear with me. I'm not good at this. Let me. So I will go to the very end just to see if there is something that can help us. Nothing after 321, nothing is being recorded. Whether it is 343 now.
Is that port used by some other
Port
application?
conflict. Okay, port conflict. No, I don't. I am not having that, but I'll show you. Netstat hyphen ABNO. So I got the output file. I will show you that. Some chat. How about the event view? Nothing is there, bro. Service running. No SQL. It's running in multi-user mode only. 1633. Control F. 1633. So it is saying SQL IIS extension query service.exe. That's what I can see here. That's it. Nothing else. Something is fishy, right? What is that something? Because SQL has to come up here. So if you see here, SQL server.exe. So if I go with SQL server.exe, it is listening on 5022, listening on 5678, something I can see. Not our port, right? Something is fishy. What is that something? Two other things. As per error log, SQL server is listening on the port 5678. If you think like that, how about this one? Okay, this is 5678. So I didn't make use of 5678 here, right? That is the first point. So, and even here, this is talking about SQL server.exe. Even the top one is saying SQL server.exe. Does it mean it is using 5022? No, right? So if you want, let's give it a try with 5678. 5678, it's because I'm using for DNN listener. That is the reason you are seeing 5678. Okay, I'm just connecting to the instance. I don't want to go to always on. I'm just at the basic level now. I am not going to always on. So that is the reason 5678 is being used because I'm using that for DNN. Just if you want, I will show you that up. I'm using load balancer and DNN both together just to show up some few interesting things. That's why I created both. So here the port is 5678. That is the reason. Forget about always on. Just think that all this is just a standalone mission. I'm not able to connect to the instance. That's it. What went wrong? Where will I check?
Vamsi, this port, it's starting from this port, or we recently changed something and
No,
port
I
and not
didn't.
yet started?
No. So if you want, this is 1633, right? 1633. So let's restart just for a second. If you think, yeah, all the points are very valid. So even we do the same thing in real time. So I'll just restart that just to see in case if, uh, port is not being used for some reason.
Or also, is there any antivirus is there in this?
No, nothing. No virus. No antivirus.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
no problem. I mean, this is like, it has to be something interesting, right? That is the reason I'm just showing this up.
See,
Uh,
like if there is any encryption key
no,
is not supported for
encryption.
this edition or version like
No,
that,
no,
no, right?
nothing. Encryption, I already checked my protocols as well. So I just restarted with in front of you, but also I'm using this time port number, but nothing is
Okay.
seems to be working. We are almost 60 now. We're having 60 brains. So I would like to see who can answer
Okay.
this.
All right.
Check this.
Ramsey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
So what if we add this port to the IP property in configuration manager?
IP
So
proper.
alongside the default, we add this one there as well.
I'll go there just a second. TCP IP address is enabled or not? TCP IP address is enabled or not? Okay. So someone said two things.
On
Let's
the
go.
network, yeah.
Something
Yeah.
they
The
said
IP
IP address.
addresses.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Then
I
we
don't have
include
I just have IP all. That's it. I don't have anything else.
Yes, IPL, that's what I'm saying, but we have 1633 already, so we can add like a comma, then add that one there. So that it
Here,
identifies those two ports, yes.
but I'm using 1633, that's it. I don't need to add any other port, right? So I'm using 1633, but it's not being used. Someone said IP address, what is that? Someone's commented something, I didn't. In TCP IP, try with dot. Okay, I will try with dot also. IP address is enabled or not? What is IP address? IP addresses are here. I don't see what
Yeah,
is IP address. I just have this tab. That's it. Nothing else.
okay.
Under TCP port, we can allow all IPs, right? That you can.
But I'm not able to
Yeah.
see this. That's what I'm saying. So this is very interesting. So just this, just
Is the
wait for
port
it.
opened in firewall?
Okay, okay. Just wait there. You can see this tab, right? You can see this. Try to connect with dot, right? Okay, let's try to give a dot and see if that works.
Or else we can check that from command prompt also. What are that ports it is listening? That also we can
Yeah,
check,
that
right?
we already fired the command, and as you can see, it's not listening on 1633 for some reason. Okay, since you are saying IP all, IP all, IP all, okay, I will show you that IP all just for a second. Where is this
So,
mission?
Vamsi, can we add alias name and then we can try it?
It is connecting. Okay, see, the point here is I'm able to connect without specifying the port number, right? So usually it will be other way around. If you miss the port number, it will not work. But here, if I specify the port number, it is not working. Got my point? It is, I'm able to connect. I'm able to connect with name, only with name, not with IP. Okay, that is the first point. Some are saying IP all and all. So I'll discuss that in a few seconds. There is a listen all option in TCP protocol. Listen all, that's what I'm saying, Sushil. So if I go here, I'm not able to find that listen all. It's just showing me this part, IP all, that's it. Nothing else. I'm not able to find that IP all. What you said is true, but why I'm getting only IP all, why not other things? I will show you now. Okay, so I'm just connecting to one more mission. This is not part of that AG. This is different AG altogether, different mission. But still, I will show you like why I'm missing that. You will come to know shortly.
Or else did we remove the node and again re-added that
No,
node?
nothing. Forget about node and cluster always on. It's just about think that as a standalone mission. Tell me why I'm not able to connect with 1633. What went wrong? Few people said IP all, IP all, IP all. Yes, I do agree. IP all is one of the reasons, and I strongly, yeah, the answer lies there only. Okay, I'm coming to the answer now. But the point here is I'm not able to see IP all. Like if I come up here to, in another mission, okay. So just wait for it to pop up. Okay, if I go to my protocols, sorry. Yeah, TCP. Now I can see IP addresses. This is what people are saying. IP address, IP address, IP address. Yes.
Yeah.
What you said is
Yeah.
true. But my
Yes, sir.
point here is on this mission, I'm not able to see IP address. Oh, not this mission, right? The first one. Yeah. I can see only IP address, only one tab, IP all. That's it. No other stuff. Why I'm
Is it because we are using DNN?
no nothing related to always on, just for your information.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
if no answers, I will shoot the answer
Oh
now.
my goodness.
Yeah.
DNS problem?
No, nothing DNS. No DNS problem also. Okay. First thing first, why I'm seeing only this tab on this machine, why I'm seeing on another server all the tabs. That is our first point that we need to clear ourselves.
Is there any VM different version OS?
No, version is same. Okay, just since you brought that point, Windows version is same. Windows Server 2022. Okay, that mission is also same version. This is what happens in real time, guys. So I just wanted to show all these techniques. Same thing, 21H2, 4052 something. I think that is also most likely same. Okay, slight difference with some service pack or something else. Nothing much. The base version is same.
But because of installing from marketplace?
Exactly. Who said this?
Azad.
Sorry? Azad. Okay. Azad, you are spot on. So what happens is that when you install the missions from marketplace, Okay, if you try to do from marketplace, the things what I noticed is that it won't show up the IP all stuff what we are discussing. Like we discussed a lot on IP all, right? So it will not show up that stuff. Where is that? This tab. I think I need to mute. Yeah, you will see only IP address, and under the IP address, you will see IP all. You will not see IP1, IP2, IP3, IP4. If you install that from marketplace. Okay, that is the point here. First point. And now what is the thing that is stopping us? I came over here and I said, listen all to no. So since that is the only option what I got, since I didn't get any multiple IP addresses here, there is no way for the SQL server to connect from different addresses like loopback address or hexadecimal address. Nothing is there because if you see here, if I go to other machine, I have at least 4 options. So where is that? This one, right? Got my point? Are you able to understand? This is the most important thing. So if I go to other servers, I got this option IP1, IP2. So the first IP is with hexadecimal notation, means IPv6. This is IPv4. This is loopback address. I don't know what is dot dot one, maybe something else. So we have different options here. If I do it normally, but if I install it from marketplace, I'm not getting that option. What I got is only IP all. And since I forced this to no, listen all as no, it's not possible for the SQL server to connect. So if I change this to yes, and if I click on all, then it will allow me to connect. Just I'll show you. And the problem here is there is no way to figure that out. No way. I mean, it will not pop up in our error logs. It will not show up in event viewer. So it is impossible for anyone to figure out that is the issue. That's what I said. It's very, very hard to troubleshoot if you are deploying the missions from marketplace. If someone messes up that point, of course, it may not happen, but if it happens, it is extremely difficult to troubleshoot. And there is no clue left for us. So now if I connect with 1633, it should connect now. Okay, 1633. There you go. And now you can connect with IP address also, since I said listen all. So no problem with IP also. Just a second, guys. Recruitment agency, I don't want any job change now. 16.2.41633. Yeah, no problem with IP, no problem with port, anything, because I just did this stupid thing. And why I'm showing this, because this is what happened with one of our folks in our team. And he was not able to connect, and he came back to me, and even I was clueless because I don't know that mission is deployed from marketplace, and we didn't check that part. After going through that configuration manager, after listing that IP all, I figured it out. There is no such thing like IP1, IP2, IP3. Then I realized where the mistake was. So finally, we were able to resolve, but it was very, very, it took a lot of time, like almost 45 minutes was being spent to figure out where the issue was. I hope it is clear now, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yes, Vamsi, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will create one more scenario. For that, I will just stop this screen share. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. One quick
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
So, what was the reason, we are not able to use that marketplace image to configure, or what is the right
No.
image to use?
When you deploy it from marketplace, it comes with certain defaults. The thing, if you notice here, when you deploy it from marketplace, you will get analysis services by default. You will get integration services by default, and you will get only one option here. I mean, you will not get multiple IP1, IP2, something like that. You will get only IP address. That's it. And under that, you will find IP all. You will not find IP1, IP2, IP3, IP4, nothing like that. So if you deploy it from marketplace, there are few things that differs from actual installation of SQL. So this is the issue that only quite a few people will know about this. So it's very, very hard to troubleshoot.
Does it affect any of the operations? What we do, like,
No, it won't
daily
affect.
basis?
It won't affect operations. But the option is, since we are left with only one IP address here, means if you set this to no, you are gone. Because here there is an option like listen all, right? Listen all. So if I compare this with the other server where I have multiple options, okay. So if I set this to listen all here, it will still work because I can use any of the options here. I can use IP1, I can use IP2, IP3, IP4, any of those tabs. Of course, I have to use IP2, but just say, imagine, okay. At least I got the options to, you know, work with. But there, if you do it from from marketplace, you will not see that IP1, IP2, IP3, IP4. Okay, only IP address, and the IP address you will see IP all. That's it. So if it is from marketplace, just keep an eye, especially with this option, listen all. If it is set to false, the problem is it will not get logged anywhere and it's extremely difficult to troubleshoot. Okay, I will.
Vamsi,
So basically, we
marketplace,
usually,
do we have
Yeah, in marketplace.
in the marketplace, do we have option to download that ISO file?
No, it comes by default. I don't think we have an option to download the ISO file. Okay. No, it won't come up. Okay, just a second, guys. I wanted to recreate one scenario.
so Vamsi, one more question. Usually, what I have seen, infrastructure team, right, in Azure side, what they do, like, they automate their process to utilize that, like, that SQL installation images, right? So what I understand from this, like, let's say, like, we have, like, create a bunch of service projects, operation and all, have one SQL default installations, and then utilize that images across the board for the installation.
I'll take your question, bro. Just a second. Sorry.
Sure.
I'm doing something, so it got struck. So that is the reason. I stopped the screen share because I just wanted to create one more scenario. Even this scenario we didn't explore, so that is the reason. Yeah. Coming back to your question, come again now.
So let's say we have, like, multiple servers installation for projects or operations or anything like, in Azure or AWS, wherever, right?
Okay.
So by default, if we use marketplace image, this issue will raise.
No, see, this issue rises only if you are turning that option off. Okay, so where is that? So if I come over here and if I switch this to no, if I set this to no, then you cannot connect to the instance. Otherwise, you can. Okay.
So that means, like, we are not facing any issues apart from
we don't face any issues, but this
regardless
happened.
of, like,
This happened in one of the environments where one DB8 turned that option off. Okay. So that is where the problem is. Since he turned that option off, there is no way for a DBA to troubleshoot further because it's not being recorded in event viewer. It's not being recorded in error log, SQL error log. So that is the challenge. And to troubleshoot that, it's extremely difficult. It took a lot of time. I just need to turn this yes. So then we'll start our session. Just restart this. Okay, now. So this will be the second scenario. And this is also going to be kind of tough. Not that tough compared to the first scenario, but still it will be little difficult if you don't know way to troubleshoot and how to troubleshoot. Stopping, will it take time? Let's see. Okay, it's done. Let's go and try to fail over our node. So I have DNN and VNN, both are there. Forget about those concepts. I'm just trying to fail over. Okay, I'm trying to fail over from one replica to another replica. So let me come over here. 1633. Let me connect. Okay, it's fine. So now if I come over here and if I try to fail over, it is failing. First of all, this is failing and this is the error, some error. First thing first, what are my settings? So my settings is synchronous, failover mode is manual, and this is my setting. So I'm trying to carry out a manual failover to another node and it is getting failed. So how to troubleshoot now? I'm not able to failover, as simple as that in simple terms. Failover, secondary node, everything is green, by the way. No errors. I would like to show you that part. Show the dashboard. Everything is green. I didn't make any stupid things here. No weird things. Everything is in sync. But when I'm trying to troubleshoot, sorry, failover, it's not working. This is the message what I'm getting. Failed to move to the local node, maybe not running, specified group invalid, something, something, something. Just think, I will just come. Just couple of seconds. I'm back. So as a DBA, what to do and where to start our troubleshooting? Just
The endpoints on that particular node. Really?
endpoints, no. I will just say all the things. Endpoints, no. No issues with port numbers. Service accounts are fine. No changes with the password. NT-alert/system is there because I made so many sessions, right? So nothing compared to my previous session.
Did you make any changes at the load balancer in DNN IP?
No, I didn't make any issues or anything with DNN or VNN.
Can you check in error logs?
Error logs. Let's start with error logs. So I think I'm on primary. Yeah. 3, 4 or 5, 4, 5 is the time. So I think these are all default messages if I'm not wrong. If you want, I can go with the secondary node.
Can we check the Windows failover cluster? Is there any services down?
Yeah, we'll check that. But before I do, someone said always on. Looks like these are also default messages. Yeah, nothing abnormal. What I can check from here. Okay, any services down or something like that. So that is the point. So everything is up. This is multi-subnet. So definitely this will be offline and this will be online. So no issues with this.
Listener IP is floating, something we need to mark on portal level.
That is there. So you don't need to worry about that part. Anyways, since you said that is, yeah, we need to check that. Even if I remove load balancer, it will still will not be able to fail over. Secondary node not possible owner. Okay, I will check that part also. Just a second. Where is that help?
Cluster services is running fine, right?
Yeah, cluster is up and running. So someone said floating IP. Yeah, floating IP is there. Someone said possible owners. So let's go to possible owners. What's your thought on this? Preferred owner is showing up as only replica 1 and availability group. If I go to advanced policies, it is showing up both the possible owners. So do you think any issues with preferred? Do you think that I made any changes to preferred owners?
It should be 2, no?
Here you mean to say 2 nodes? Sorry, both should be
Both.
check
Yeah.
mark.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? Do you think that is the problem?
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments?
Yeah, that could be.
Okay, that could be. Okay, so if you see here, I didn't make any changes to uh, availability group possible owners here. Secondary node, is not possible owner. Secondary node. Okay, someone said yes. Secondary node is not possible owner. Of course, so first of all, I have two nodes. And for your information, guys, for your knowledge sake, don't ever try to alter this. Okay, don't ever try to alter this because this is the correct setting. Okay, this is not a wrong or something weird. So this is absolutely correct setting. Why my mouse is not working? Okay, so no problems with this. With this setting, it's absolutely fine. No problems. Okay, someone said possible owners for availability group. So if I right click here, my mouse is not working. So I have to use some other stuff. It is showing up both of them as possible owners. Okay, so what went wrong? Is this DNN? Let's check the properties of DNN. If I go to policies, okay, advanced policies. So it is just showing up as only one possible owner is there. Do you think this is the issue? Because here also preferred owner is showing up as only SQL replica 1. Will that be the same case with our listener name also? Or how will it be?
Check the cluster area, any error message.
Cluster level, any error message. Okay, cluster events, right? Yeah. 3:55, 5:09 is the time. No, with the current time, I'm not able to see anything.
Any ports are different.
Can you check dependencies for this?
SQL error log and node 2.
Yeah, we checked the error log on node 2 and nothing is useful here. These are all generic messages.
If the server is pingable for both the ways from network side.
Yes. So SQL will not communicate with cluster quorum or cluster node. That is not the case. It should be both in DNN possible nodes. So Saurabh is saying it should be both in DNN possible nodes. So just a second. So what's your thought on this before I move on with the solution? What about the preferred owners and what about the possible owners? What's your take on that?
Preferred owner is something that is preferred, right? Just like in English word.
Yeah, that is
not
fine.
mandatory.
Okay.
It is not mandatory to have both of them set to check mark. Possible owners is where it should be set to both because both of them can own that particular role.
Okay, so
that
I'm
is why
just
I'm saying that both can.
Yeah, just checking this box for DNN, but for a AG group, it's showing up as both possible owners. So let me do this for DNN as well. So advanced policies. So I'll check this box as well. Okay, so I'm just checking on both the boxes. So currently, if you see preferred, it is showing up as replica 1. Okay, so again, I'm saying we should not be making any changes to our clusters, especially always on with preferred or possible. Don't ever mess those things. Okay, if you mess, yeah, so we will face some problems. So let me close and I'll just try to perform failover again and see if that works at least. Next, finish. Okay, so now I can see failover is happening. So what went wrong? Ram, at the beginning, he told possible owners. So, but I would like to give you some clarity on this topic. Okay, the clarity is nothing but for preferred replicas. Okay, when you go to preferred replicas, that is only for our availability group. For availability group, when you check and when you right click on that properties, this preferred replica, preferred owner will show up whomever is owner. Currently SQL replica 2 is the primary, right? So that is the reason you will see checkbox only for replica 2. You will not see that checkbox for replica 1, and this is absolutely fine setting. That is first thing. Second thing, if I go to my availability group here in under other resources, if I go to advanced policies, then also you are seeing I didn't make any changes here. So it is showing up only SQL replica 2 as the possible owner. Okay, but if I come over here, if I go to properties, advanced policies, both should be set to true. I mean to say both should be highlighted. Otherwise, it won't, you cannot carry out failover. So just for testing purpose, let me fail it back and see what will be the availability group use case. I mean, settings. So currently SQL replica 2 is primary. Let me fail it back. Replica 1, next, finish. Okay. So we are done. SQL replica 1 is primary. Let's check this part. This is the only part we need to double check ourselves. Rest all is very clear. Okay. Can you see this? So what is your take on this very, very important settings? Oh, my mouse is not working today. What's your conclusion? What's your thought on this? I would like to write the 3 points here. First thing, preferred replicas, preferred owners, I mean to say. Preferred owners, and possible owners for availability group. For availability group will be, I mean, you will find only one tick box or check box, what you call. I don't mind calling the things. Possible owners and possible preferred owner and possible owner for the availability group will be only one. Means whomever is primary, only that will be highlighted over there. Whomever is primary. But when it comes to listener, okay, when it comes to listener, important point is possible owner should be both. Possible owner should be both. Why I'm saying this? Do you think, is this something very important as a DBA that we need to understand, or why I'm highlighting this point? You know, there is one post on LinkedIn that talks about this topic, but he has not explained very clearly. He has just mentioned it vaguely. Okay. But this is the important thing that you guys have to remember. And I'll tell you one practical scenario that happened to one of our folks. So they were using lift and shift. Okay. They were using lift and shift. They were having two replicas in on-premises. They were doing lift and shift. They did for a secondary replica and they did for primary replica, but they got some issues. So what they did is they turned off the possible owner for one of the replicas. Okay, and they turned it off and it went fine. And they forgot to turn on that setting, possible owner setting for that listener. So when they tried to perform failover, it was not working. So since you are saying this, but how as a DBA, where will you see this information that possible owners got missed? Where will it get recorded? It's not there in our SQL logs, right? It will not be there in always on extend event session. It will not be there in cluster events inside this failover cluster manager. So where will it be that possible owner got missed? How will you check that point? That is what I'm saying. I intentionally removed that. That is fine. But if it happens in real time, how will you check and where will you check?
Event viewer,
cluster logs. Cluster log.
Exactly. So go to your cluster logs. How will you check? I will show you how to verify your cluster log about that setting. So mouse at very important stage, it will fail. I'm like Karna. Whenever it is needed most, it will not work. I cannot go with routing, I believe, because it's already get hyphen cluster log, right? Yeah. Get hyphen cluster log. It happened just few minutes back, right? So I will use time span. Say for example, 10 minutes back. And the destination is temp. So it will generate cluster logs for us. If you don't specify the location, it will go to that Windows cluster report, some default location is there. So it will go there. So instead of that, I'm using C:temp. So now I will show you how to interpret that information. Let it get finished. Yeah, it got finished. So if I open this up, okay, just type possible owner. And you have to do it from the last, because if you do it from the top, you won't be able to get it quickly. So let's do from the bottom. And now, can you see this line? Possible owners list size. Just if you can use this term, we are done. So just copy that and do Control F and then search for it. List size is 0, list size is 2. Can you see this one? So okay, let me come down for a second. This is one way we can check with possible owners list size for our DNN and VNN. If you find it as 0, so some changes were being made. Okay, so that is one way. I think there is one more way. So I forgot that keyword. Sorry. Let me check that part. Yeah, can you see this one? So it is saying found node ID 1 in the list of possible owners. It should found two nodes, two replicas, node ID 1 and node ID 2, but it is finding only one node. So if you see some messages like possible owners list size and found node ID 1, only one. So if you see something like that, that means your settings are not right. You have to check that part. Okay, so of course you have to do a deep investigation. This is just a simple way of finding it out. But if you go and check slow step by step, then you will get to know. So even here, if you see, again, it is saying found node ID 1 in the list of possible owners. It's not showing node ID as 2. So some messages like this, it's just a starting point. Even I need to go and inspect. I think I just worked on it, but I forgot the exact keyword that we need to check in our cluster logs. Something with possible list size or something. I forgot that. Yeah. If you see this one out of two nodes, definitely this is a good starting point to see what went wrong for sure. Because we have two nodes and it is showing only one node as possible owners. Yeah, this is a good point. If you see this, definitely someone has modified those settings. Okay, this is the second. I mean, this is how we troubleshoot possible owners missing with our cluster log. Maybe there is something like a node is not the possible owner. Maybe like this. It is saying specified node is already a possible owner. Maybe something like specified node is not eligible for possible owner. Something like that we need to check. So for the moment, if you see something like this, out of two nodes, if it is saying possible owners list size is 1, definitely something went wrong over there. Okay, so this is just a starting point. I will try to see if there is anything, any specific message straight away that can figure that out. This is the only way. Cluster logs is the only way. There is no other place that you can check these things. Okay, any questions? It is 5:20, so better I will stop this, because if I go with read-only routing, it will take another 25 minutes. That is also a big issue and it's very, very difficult to troubleshoot. So that is the reason. I'll talk that tomorrow. Any questions with these two topics? Like why the automatic failover didn't happen? That is first thing. And second thing, it's very important that you have to understand availability group and listener properties. Both are different. For availability group, preferred owners and possible owners will be only one node. I mean, whomever is primary, that will be visible for you. I mean, it will not be two what can I say? How to phrase this statement? Possible owners, yeah. Possible owners will not be two. It will be only one for AG, availability group. But when it comes to listener, possible owners will be both. When I say both, it can be all of your nodes. I mean, node 1, node 2, node 3. If you're having multiple replicas, all the replicas will be possible owners. But for availability group, that is not the case. So don't get confused here. So that's what I'm saying. Don't think that it should be 2 here, especially here. So I know many people have this tendency of modifying this. That is not the right way. The right way is it will be only one replica. Preferred owner will be only one replica, and even for availability group, it will be only one replica under possible owners. That is very, very important thing that you have to understand. But for listener name, it will be both the replicas. Both the replicas. That's the thing.
And Vamsi, what if we change that preferred owner with both?
No, so first of all,
replica
Microsoft is strictly saying you should not be modifying any settings for AG, not for failover cluster instance. For AG, it's strictly advisable not to mess any changes. Okay, we should not carry out this from clue admin for AG.
Okay.
We should not. That's it. So what if is a different question. We should not. Yeah, there is one more thing that I wanted to show, which is also absolutely difficult to troubleshoot, but I don't have time, so I'll take that up tomorrow. Any questions with this too? I hope you find something new today, right?
Yes, Vamsi.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes, Vamsi.
any other questions? Actually, I have a performance issue that I need to solve, but as the cost is climbing up, I have to delete 2 machines at least. Okay, before I close this up, just for your information, guys, here I've set this property listen all to no. Okay, another mission I'm saying. I'm not talking about missions that are deployed from marketplace. This is just like our on-premises. Okay, I intentionally set this up to no. Do you think I will be able to connect? I was not able to connect over there, right? When I said listen all to no. Here, will I be able to connect?
I think yes.
I think yes. Okay. So let's try that. I will use SQL CMD. It will be easy to carry out testing. SQL CMD -s /, what is the port number? 1633. I'm able to connect it, right? So what if I make this one small change? So by default, this will be no, guys. For your information, by default, this will be no. I changed it to yes. So if I go with defaults, so it will be yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Even in on-premises or Azure or AWS, doesn't matter. This will always be yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Okay, so now I'm saving this and restarting this. So I'm going with defaults. Do you think it will still work, or let's check that point.
I think you changed to no, right?
Yeah, I changed it to no. I wanted to go with defaults. The default is yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
Okay.
So I just changed it. It's all default now. Control C. Let's do it again. You are gone again. Okay. You are gone.
Yes. Can you go to the property where you change?
Yeah. So I made the change here. That is the reason you are able to connect. So this is no. Okay. This should be yes by default, but I changed it to no. Okay. That is first point. This should be yes by default. I changed it to no. And these are all default settings. I didn't make any changes here. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So if it is all yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, then you will not be able to connect to the instance again. So don't ever mess with this topic. If you are not familiar, don't mess with this topic. If you are familiar, okay, then what you have to do is, if you wanted to connect your instance, you have to make at least this one. So I'm using IPv4 because I cannot connect with IPv6, right? So I'm using IPv4. So there are 4 things here. What are these 4 things? First one is IPv6 for your mission. This is the IPv6 address of your mission. This is IPv4, the IP of your machine. Okay, and the bottom one is loopback address. And I believe this is something .1. I forgot what is this exactly. I'm not sure with this part. So if I don't set this to yes, when I turn this option to no, then you will not be able to connect. You have to have at least one of these options to turn as yes. Otherwise, it won't work. So I'm using IPv4 here because it's the thing that is very relevant for us. So I'm using that to yes and setting this up. Otherwise, you'll not be able to connect. Just have shown that topic as well, right? So now if I restart, then you will be able to connect. So my conclusion here is never ever mess with that particular option. What is that? Listen all. Okay, never ever mess with that option. So the conclusion is in this article. Okay, where is that? Can you see this? This is what they are saying. This is the Microsoft article. If the listen all setting is set to no, which is what I did. Okay, which is what I said. If the listen all setting is set to no, okay, if I set that to no, then the TCP port and dynamic port settings under the IP all sections will be ignored. So that is the reason in my first example, even though I have specified the IP like 1633, SQL was not able to use that because I have set this option to no. Got the point?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Vamsi.
Yeah, this is clearly mentioned. If the listen
Yes,
all
Vamsi.
setting is set to no, then these two parts, TCP port and TCP dynamic port, will be ignored altogether. So that was ignored, and that is the reason I was not able to connect with my IP. So don't mess with this option at any cost. If you wanted to, you can, provided you have to enable one of these options to yes. If you don't enable that option like IP1, IP2, IP3, IP4 enabled as if it is set to no, which is default, then you cannot connect to that instance. You have to have at least one of these options set to yes here. So that is the conclusion. Okay, then I'll stop here, and tomorrow I'll show you routing, and that will be also very difficult to troubleshoot. Very difficult to troubleshoot. So stay tuned. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Vamsi.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vamsi.
Thank you.
Tomorrow same time, right?
Sorry?
Vamsi, tomorrow same time?
Yeah, mostly same time. It will be same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.